podcast, people. Pre-show. Pre-show, getting ready.
I'm gonna burn this whole world down.
Warren Zetters. Drop that down in the background. That's that Burn It Down, y'all, man. What's going on out there, people? Welcome to another edition of Hays Division. A lot been going on, man. A lot been going on. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to the podcast. We did a special local politics edition, and it was pretty cool. It was one of those things where, you know, you do it, you get your community involved, you step out there. You're not just talking about science and technology or whatever you normally talk about. You start talking about the other stuff that's going on with your community and what's going on in the world. I don't know, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning more about the people that's running. I enjoyed learning more about everything that's going on. But I don't know. It's not what I normally do. I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed learning about the people that was running for election. But it's not what this podcast is about. And I'm glad to be out of it. I'm glad to have all those done, recorded, posted. The election's coming up this weekend. I'm glad to get that done. Because, I mean, that's not what this is about. This is about science and technology and us drinking in the garage and smoking cigars and talking shit. I mean, mainly science and technology. 20, 40, 60% science and technology, 10% alcohol, 20% talking shit, and 5% cigars. I'm missing 5% in there. See, I knew I could add, yo. I don't know if y'all hear the fan in the background. That's something we're going to have an issue with during the summertime, y'all. And I apologize. Hays Division's garage is not insulated. So you probably should not hear that fan in the background. I'm really good about cutting that shit out of the sound. It's not hard to do, and I normally get it done. But we got to have some air circulating in here or I'll burn up, much less my computers. I actually shut most of our servers down during the summer just because of the toll on the infrastructure electrically, but also because of the heat issue. I mean, I got actual ACs that just cool the servers, but I shut it down. I mean, we're not trying to train that hard on the Python programs we got going on, so it's not a big deal. Do not like how my mic sound today, so if y'all hear some crazy shit on the mic, and it's basically because I got a raspy voice. I always got a raspy voice. I really got a raspy voice today. I'm fucking the sinuses and everything else that's going on out there. It hit me hard this morning, and I took 3 Benadryl on accident. Thought I was taking some allergy medicine, and it wasn't allergy medicine. It was straight Benadryl, and it was not good for me. But I'm still here. I'm still knocking this podcast out because I got something I want to talk about, man. I want to talk about, I know everybody knows about Elon buying Twitter. And I was excited about it originally because, I don't know, I think Elon is a good guy. I think his plans match a lot of what I like. I mean, come on. Super fast electric cars. And it's not so much that it's an electric car. It's just all the tech that's in the car. I love it. Okay. Rocket engines. You know I love some rocket engines. His SpaceX is leaps and bounds over everybody else. Neuralink. Oh my God. I can talk hours and hours. I'd love to have someone come on the podcast talk about Neuralink and what they're doing. And some of you people don't know anything about these ideals. I'll talk about them as we go. But the one thing that really got me was, why is Elon buying Twitter? Excuse me. Why is he doing it? Outside of the fact that it's available, it's also, he has the ability, he finally has the amount of money that you would need to buy something like that. And where did he get that money? He got that money by being able to achieve all this other greatness in his other businesses. Because he doesn't physically have $44 billion in his pocket. He has stock and market equity and all that other stuff that gave him the ability to go to the bank and say, hey, look, I need $44 billion. And they're like, okay, what are you going to put up? And he's going to, I'm going to put this and this and this and up. Oh, here you go. $44 billion, Elon. Go do what you want to do. And that's a big thing. It's definitely, I got the ice. I'm drinking them vodka tonics. And when I took that sip, I got too much ice. I apologize. I'll cut that shit out. But when Elon bought Twitter, or even when he was talking about buying Twitter, in the back of my mind, I'm sitting back here thinking, why? I get it's for freedom of speech. I've done podcasts on censorship and what the social media companies are doing about censorship. And don't get me wrong, no matter what, Elon's made a stance on censorship, and that's cool. But me being me, I sit back and say, okay, Elon, I've followed quite a bit of what you do. What could be another reason right now that you bought Twitter? So let's go down the rabbit hole. You want to go down the rabbit hole with me? Let's go. Anybody know about OpenAI? One of the companies that Elon has been accredited as owning. He doesn't own OpenAI as far as I can find out. He was one of the big investors and still a big investor and still sort of like the top person on OpenAI, but he doesn't own he does not own OpenAI, but what he does do is influence how that company's going to be run and what it's going to be used for. And the whole purpose of OpenAI originally is one of Elon's concerns with where we're going with AI. He wants to create AI that we understand, not this big AI system that just goes and able to not have humanity in it, or not to have the ability to control. You can't control AI to begin with, but you have to be in the game because the game's going to happen no matter what. And I think that was Elon's jump into it. But when OpenAI first went beta, Hays Division had access to OpenAI, and we spent a lot of time, me and the guys around here, playing with OpenAI, asking it questions, running things through its transformer bots and everything else. OpenAI is crazy smart. And on the flip side of that, OpenAI's developer, I think it's chief developer, come out like a month ago and says OpenAI is semi-conscious. Which, when I read that, I was like, hold the fucking phone. What do you mean semi-conscious? I mean, everybody else is saying that they're shooting for consciousness, shooting for an AI that can talk and do all this other shit, but it's not there yet. This guy, the developer for OpenAI, just jumps up there and says, I feel like our program is semi-conscious. Which, we can talk about consciousness for ends, but what does that mean? Does it mean that it knows who it is, it knows it's a computer program, and then it treats you like that? Or is it just, and this is what we found out when we played with OpenAI, it just repeats stuff. It's like, okay, you said this is correlated to this, and this is this, and here's a response. Now, don't get me wrong, I know people like that. I know people you say something to, and whatever their brain pops up, they're spitting right back out their mouth. Are they conscious? I don't know. It's possible. But what does Twitter have to do with OpenAI? And here's something I don't think anybody's talking about or looking at. A lot of the AI systems that's running right now are built off of a TensorFlow structure, which is basically you take a bunch of question and response sequences and you put them into a neural network, and you train this computer program to go through and figure out what is the best response for a question based off of, thousands, hundreds of thousands of similar question and answers. That is the data that Twitter has. I don't know if y'all realize this, but that is the data Twitter has. A lot of the AI's transformer base and everything else that's out there right now has been trained off of Reddit. And the reason they've been trained off Reddit is because Reddit is, in a way, an open source platform where you can go in and you can get their actual conversations in that response, throw it into a spreadsheet, break it down into question, response, and put that into a transformer and have it train itself through a neural network to answer these type of questions. Me sitting back watching Elon do this, and he's clearly saying, hey, look, I want to take the algorithm, or I'm not sure he even said algorithm. I want to take Twitter and make Twitter open source. I looked around like, Okay, so open source as in anybody can change this algorithm? Or open source in the sense that everybody can see its algorithm? Or is this all just a part of how your mind works and you understanding that you're coming out with what's called the Tesla bot? And the Tesla bot is something that Elon said he's going to drop next year. Next year. And this robot is going to have the ability to do mundane tasks, super efficient, basically it's a worker robot in humanoid form. I don't know, I'll try to put a picture of one of them up here right quick in a minute, especially when this goes live. But it's, when I first saw it, it was wow. You know, this is why it was wild. And this goes back to the Twitter and the whole other thing. It was wild because when you look at a Tesla car, it's a robot. A Tesla car is a robot that's going 60, 100 miles an hour, that has avoidance collision, has judgment, interacting with humans, answering questions, sending you maps, everything else. It's a robot that's driving itself down the road a majority of the time, reporting, moving away from pedestrians, all the shit. You take everything that Elon has in there and put it into a robot that's has appendages, and you got a walking, talking robot. The car is already there. The technology that Tesla has built in a car is basically a robot. It just doesn't have a body. So Elon taking that technology and putting it into a humanoid form robot is not a big jump. It's not a big leap for me. It's not one of those things where I'm like, okay, hold on. All right, Ford's saying that they're going to come out with a humanoid robot they're going to put in your house. He's going to be a chef. Yeah, no. Ford's not supposed to do that. Elon Musk, Tesla, almost already has that. They have cars that run up and down the road at 1,600 miles an hour that has all this technology. It has collision avoidance. It has the ability to communicate with you and play games with you and all this other shit. So no, it's not a big leap. Would I buy one? You goddamn right I'd buy one. I buy one quick and putting it in my house and allowing it to do some of my chores, because that's what I got. 2 days. The amount of work that most of us do, we work a 9 to 5. I don't work a 9 to 5, but I work 5 days a week. I'm on call every other weekend. Now, like today, I got 50 damn things I need to do. One of them is clean the outside, clean the inside, do this. This is what humans, adults do all the time. You take a big portion of that out by me doing a robot, I'm going to do it. I have a damn Rhomba. I don't want to sweep. I don't want to mop. I even got the Rhomba that mops. Now, it doesn't work as good as the sweeper, but I don't want to do either one of them. I'm willing to pay. Elon knows it. Now, I don't think that's where Elon was going when he come out with the idea of doing the Tesla bot. I think Elon was looking at what's going on with all these manufacturing issues and saying, hey, look, we got to get ahead of the curve. We have done a lot of automation in our factories. If you will go online and look at one of the videos of a Tesla factory, it's almost all automatic. Now take a bunch of those jobs, other jobs away with a robot. You don't have to worry about the shit you have in California. And don't get me wrong, people out there that's worried about their job, I get it. I do get it. But I've been saying for years, do not get in a job that is not a mental job. The whole reason I never went, I have a Class A CDL. The reason I've never become a truck driver is because I really feel robots are going to replace truck driving. That's not a good thing for a bunch of people out there, but it's the truth. And if you see that, you don't go down that trajectory. You know it's going to be replaced. Humans can be replaced in these sense, and we want them to. We don't want humans spending their time using a hammer beating the same damn nail in there like they did in the 1920s. That's not good for people. That's the whole reason we have Fords. If nobody really knows this, the whole reason we have Fords is because of Henry Ford figured out not how to make a car. Henry Ford figured out how to make mass production of vehicles. Great guy. I hate Fords, but great guy. And I know y'all might feel like I'm jumping around here, but I'm not. Stay with me. So Elon bought Twitter, and we're all focused on his statements about freedom of speech. But y'all flip around for a second. If Elon takes the mass communication of Twitter and plugs it into an AI and says, train yourself on this. What kind of AI is he going to get out? Well, part of the whole conversation that I had going on today was how many people actually use Twitter? Not a lot. But the supposedly elite intelligentsia is the people who use Twitter. The scientists, the politicians. They're the ones all on Twitter using it as basically a higher thought pattern social media platform. So if you're going to use any platform to train your AI, it's not going to be Reddit. It's not going to be a bunch of perverts, and there's a lot of perverts on Reddit, and a bunch of retards. Excuse me, I can't say retards no more. I apologize. My wife been beating my ass for saying retards. I'm gonna cut all that shit out. So let's go back. So you're not going to use AI, train it on Reddit. Yes, that's where we've done it. And let's back up for a second. Okay, so I don't know how many of y'all, and I've talked about it before on here. How many of y'all know about the first time they trained AI on Twitter? It became a anti-Semitic in seconds. And the reason is because how Twitter was set up back then, that bot was basically talking to a bunch of anti-Semite people. And you said something about a Jew, it had a Jew joke. I mean, it is what it is. And that's why you see a lot of conversation going on about what we feed AI to train them now. We want them to be politically correct. Some people want to be woke. Not my thing, and I don't feel like that's Elon's thing. But Elon's looking at it saying, hey, look, what's the best question and answer platform? Twitter. Can I get all that data? No. Why not buy it? Just gonna put it out there. Now, do I know this is where Elon's going? No. Do I know that Elon's coming out with 2 super cutting edge things in the next couple years? Neuralink, which is basically a chip that goes in your mind. The Tesla bot. OpenAI is already out. The car's out. And now he owns Twitter. I see a correlation, and that's just me. Am I scared? Hell no, I'm not scared. I think it's a good thing. Honestly, I do. I think it's a good thing when I look at what OpenAI has done. I think if Elon was actually able to go in there and pull those conversations out and train an AI on the conversations that happen on Twitter, things will be better. But the flip side of that is, what if Elon did have access? What if an OpenAI had access to the Twitter conversation already? And part of the reason Elon bought Twitter was that the conversation's not going the way it should. Because we've seen a lot of that lately. I don't know. There's just a correlation here that I don't know what's happening. And it's weird. It's definitely weird where it's going. Am I concerned about Elon owning Twitter? No, not at all. The reason is because Elon's got too many fires. He is not going to be the main moderator on Twitter. Am I concerned about ghosting? Yes, everybody's concerned about ghosting. You'll never change that. You're always going to have some kind of moderation on social media. And when you get the political systems involved with conversation, you're going to have choices where people get basically shadow banned. You're going to have it. Do I want it? Hell no. Would I call for it? No. It's not something that's good, but it's reality. I'm sure that multiples of people have been shadow banned. They didn't even know it. Am I putting myself in that stance? No. I don't think I say enough dumb shit to be put on shadow ban. But I don't like that side of social media. I would expect that side to be coming from somewhere like China or Russia or something like that, not America. And it has. Is that why? Is that the real reason why Elon got all pissed and spent all of his money to buy Twitter? Y'all can say yes. I'm not. I think there's something else going on here. I think Elon is playing a bigger game. I think he is seeing something. Look at all the companies he's bought, he's building, the time he spends on 'em. There's something else going on, and y'all look at it. Not a nefarious type thing. I mean, look, this is Elon's thing. I'm gonna tell you right now. Elon has done what I've tried to do multiple times, which is you sit here and you look at the future and you say, what's the problem? What's the solution? How can I be part of it? The problem is that we only have so much amount of time on Earth, but we want more. In that sense, Elon says, we got to get off this rock. We're not going to survive as a species. So he builds SpaceX. SpaceX's whole goal is to put humans on another planet so we can survive as a species if something happened to this planet. Smart plan. Smart long-term plan. Smart goal for life. Smart reason to live. Then he builds Tesla, Solar City. Don't get me wrong, he had help in both of those. But he was an instrumental part of both of those companies. Solar City to help get electricity in a more consumer-friendly business model. Electric cars to help cut on the pollution shit. But he clearly sees he's not going to be able to beat the global warming, global freezing thing that's going to happen no matter what. So the answer is to get humans off of Earth. And then not only get humans off of Earth, but be prepared for the next stage, which is AI. And to do that, he come up with Neuralink. I thought it was Neuralace, which is a AI in a book. Neuralink, and then OpenAI, and then now the Tesla bot. Connect the dots. That's why he bought Twitter. Twitter's not, as far as I know, Twitter's the first big company he's bought. The rest of them he builds. What's the link? He's not one of these companies that just, he has not had the track record as has Google or Facebook of going in and buying competing companies that has something that he needs and then using it. He has the habit of going in and building competitive companies and exceeding. So why did he buy Twitter? Because his tweets are not getting seen by enough? I don't think so. I think he was getting seen by enough. That he was really concerned with free speech? Maybe. I mean, we're all concerned with free speech. I did a podcast on it. We're all considered with a cancel culture. But are you going to give $44 million because you're concerned? I don't know. Don't get me wrong. If he would have said, hey, I'm going to build a new Twitter, a new social media platform. No, that's bullshit. I'd be like, Elon, you're wasting your time. So is that what it is? Is that Elon sat back and said, hey, look, I got to do something about this social media shit too. And if I go build an own platform, it ain't going to work. Because you know it's not. None of these other social media platforms are working. I mean, you got Twitter, you got Facebook, YouTube in a way is a social media platform. You got Snapchat. I think that's it. They're all, Instagram, I'm sorry. But Facebook owns Instagram. They're all different layers. Now, the one thing that I haven't seen Elon do yet is to get his foot into the virtual reality world. And I'm waiting on that one. The reason is because so far, everything that Elon's done, I'm not saying it's all come to fruition, like Neuralink, but it's coming. And I want to see where Elon's going to go with virtual reality. Because everything look, the Tesla bot, when he premiered that, basically he had a guy in a suit, or maybe it may have been a woman, in a suit that went out there and acted like a robot and said, this is coming next year. And I told y'all, I think it's going to happen. I think he can make it happen. But VR, I don't think he's just going to half-ass jump out there with VR. So he's going to come out with something extraordinary if he gets in VR. Now, don't get me wrong. Neuralink is basically virtual reality. If he gets Neuralink to work, bye bye, Mark Zuckerberg. Holla at you. And that, you know what? If you own Twitter, you are a competing social media platform with Facebook. If you're going to push that type of login information with a virtual world, you're not going to get Facebook. So is that the trajectory he's going? I don't know, y'all, man. I really don't. I know there's something else going on here. There's another reason why he bought Facebook. I mean, not Facebook. There's another reason why he bought Twitter. Look at it. There's a treasure trove of data there. It's not because he wants to own basically a techno newspaper. It's not it. I'm getting it. I just really feel there's another vibe there. I'm not worried about it. I just want to know what's going on because I can feel it. And so far, all the shit Elon's done, it's been awesome. It's been, and that's one of those sitting back thinking, most influential people, Elon. Honestly, if you want me to tell you the most influential person since the year 2000, it's gonna be Elon Musk. It is. I mean, Tony Stark's not real. And a lot of people said that's a correlation. Y'all let me know your thoughts. Y'all let me know why you think Elon bought Twitter. Y'all let me know what you think about OpenAI. I really want to know. Go check it out. Go check out all of his stuff with Neuralink. And if anybody that's listening to this knows him, tell him to come on here. I got some questions like this. I don't have the, hey, you want to talk about open source freedom and all that. No, I want to talk about what your real plan is. I mean, there's something else going on. We're on the cusp, y'all, man. I'm telling you, we're on the cusp. I've talked about it for years. I've never said I felt like we were at the edge of a great change, and we're at the edge of a technological great change, and I like it. Y'all stay tuned. Clyde Hays, thank y'all for staying here. This is not a long episode. Come on, man. We got 30 minutes. 30 minutes a day. Yeah. Anyway. Hey, thank y'all for listening. Clyde Hays. We'll be back. I just had to get something out about this. It's exciting. Clyde Hays out, y'all. Holla. Holla back, your boy.